We created something called holographic teleportation, something that I can see you in a three-dimensional way, but also I can feel you at the same time. We sent an NASA surgeon to the space station to perform some medical evaluations of the astronauts. That sounds easy. However, the space station is a very fast-moving target, 17,500 miles per hour. So first of all, we need to send him to space very fast. The second part is we don't have a lot of bandwidth. So you can imagine that we have the fastest internet on a station. That is not the case. We have the same internet that you had in 2007 using your cell phone, 5 megabits per second.
Welcome to the Degrees of Success podcast. I'm your host, Freda Richards, and today we have an incredible guest, Dr. Fernando de la Peña. This gentleman is out of this world, and we can't wait to dive in and find out more about him. Dr. Fernando, how are you?
Very good. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining. For those who are watching and listening who don't know you, how would you introduce yourself to them and tell us more about your mission?
Well, first of all, I'm alumni from the University of Phoenix. I'm very proud, twice. But also, I'm a guy that creates new technologies. I'm not waiting for someone to tell me what they want to. I would rather just to create something new. And a couple of examples, and we're going to dive, is something that I did for NASA that gave us 2 awards. Also for the Department of Defense. So instead of just playing catch, I always love to lead.
We can tell that due to the fact that you've actually broken history. Tell us about this incredible accomplishment that NASA's awarded you for.
So during COVID, NASA was looking for new technologies. Right now, you and I, we are talking through a screen, but it's not the way that we communicate. It's flat. During COVID, I believe that everyone experienced problems like isolation and just will not be able to touch your family, your friends. So we created something called holographic teleportation, something that I can see you in a three-dimensional way, but also I can feel you at the same time with something called haptics. And we made this possible. We sent a NASA surgeon to the space station to perform some medical evaluations of the astronauts. That sounds easy. However, the space station is a very fast-moving target, 17,500 miles per hour. So first of all, we need to send him to space very fast. The second part is we don't have a lot of bandwidth. So you can imagine that we have the fastest internet on a station. That is not the case. We have the same internet that you had in 2007 using your cell phone, 5 megabits per second.
Oh my goodness.
And plus, it needs to be safe. It needs to be secure. You don't want someone hacking into the space station. So what we did, we sent Air Force General to the space station to perform medical evaluations of the astronauts. And the astronauts could interact with him. And then we did a two-way. And then at some point, what was interesting is one of the crew members believed that he was really there. She was waiting for her medical evaluation. And for some reason, there is no up and down in the space. They are floating. She got distracted. She was checking her email, moved her head back, and the NASA surgeon was in front of her. And she shouted like, "Hey, go back. You're invading my personal space." Then she stopped. She laughed. She said, "Houston, I'm sorry. I never believed that a hologram can invade my personal space, but that happened." Guess what? The Space Medicine Division called me at NASA and said, "Hey, if she believed that he was there, this is very powerful." NASA gave me 2 awards, which is the NASA JSC Director's Innovation Award for the best technology and JSC Exceptional Software. It's very hard for for a technology to receive 2 awards. So it's exciting, but at the same time, I decided to say, hey, this has a lot of future. So I decided to create a second company and start commercializing this technology. And I was like, let's make it available for everyone. Let's make it with devices that they already have, like smartphones, tablets, something like they can have it. And I will tell you more about this, but essentially, I decided to split paths. I'm still working with NASA, the Department of Defense, the government, selling this technology actually that we are planning to put it on Mars, but at the same time, put it in everyone's devices, smartphones, tablets, glasses, to help a lot of people. And we already did that.
Where do you get this drive to be so innovative? Because clearly, these ideas are definitely out of the box. Where do you get that drive to be able to this sounds impossible, but I'm absolutely going to be able to do this. Where does that come from?
And I was joking with my wife. It's like, I never allowed to that child in me to pass away, to get rid of me. So I still have this childhood in me. And I was like, now I have the knowledge. And I was like, hey, I have this idea. Let's make it happen. Whatever I dreamed when I was a child, now we can make it for real. And that's how I believe I kept that child in me. And now with the family, with 2 children, I have my real kids also saying, hey, let's do this. Let's push it. And I always had a desire to lead instead of just waiting, just lead with technologies that I can imagine.
You mentioned your kids. When we were offline, we chatted about them a bit. We have to brag about them. Tell me about your 2 awesome children and what they're doing, not only hanging out at home and amazing at school, but with your company.
Well, my son Fernando, he's 17. He wants to go study business. My daughter Maya, she's 14. She wants to be an aerospace engineer. And what's happening is in my work, I travel a lot. NASA has 10 centers. The Department of Defense, they have different military bases, like the Global Air Force Strike Command. We go to Oklahoma, Louisiana, North Dakota, California. And then I have customers that Defense Fortune 500 companies. So they travel with me all the time. We take it as an adventure, but they are learning a lot. They already sent samples to the space station in the past. So now they are taking a more active role. So my son, I believe 3 weeks ago, he was named project manager in one of our projects with the Air Force. So the Air Force is our customer, and now he's the project manager. My daughter is also trying to create new technologies. So this is really helping me. One, they keep me in a way to be honest with me, but also keep pushing forward and be open to new technologies. And I'm going to give you one example. Behind me, if you see, it's a Creator Award. My kids told me, Dad, you should be an influencer. Use your holographic technology. And I was like, check my accent. I might use it the same, but English, it wasn't my first language. I'm not an influencer. I'm not like Freda, so successful. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to give you a lesson. I'm going to launch my YouTube channel. And I'm pretty wrong. I launched my YouTube channel, started interviewing friends at NASA or colleagues in other companies. Guess what? We passed 750,000 subscribers. YouTube gave us a Creator Award. If we add all of our social media channels, we passed like 2 million followers. And I was like, yeah, you are right. So having my kids involved is keeping me fresh because they see things that I don't see it. And it's really helping me to keep innovating. I may have the knowledge, but they have that spark that held me when I was a child.
Clearly, I mean, it definitely comes from you. Tell me more about, you told me that you were from Mexico City, and it wasn't until 2002 that you would come here to America. Tell me about that journey and what the goal and the plan was.
Well, I always want to be involved in aerospace and with NASA. So my dissertation in college, it was about space propulsion, antimatter propulsion. I was like, combustion is very slow. It takes a lot of rocket fuel to take like maybe 100 pounds of rocket fuel just to take 1 pound to space. So it's not efficient and it's very slow. So I came with an idea to use something that is available in space called antimatter. So you can go to Mars in a matter of minutes instead of months. And after I submitted my dissertation and I received my degree, I also created a patent. And that really helped me to pave my way here to come to the US because I had something unique. And then I was working with NASA as a contractor. I was learning. I learned from so many companies, so many friends. And in 2012, I decided to create my own company. Like, okay, I may have enough knowledge. Now I can start chasing my own dreams instead of chasing others' dreams.
Wow. It's blowing my mind how your drive and your innovation led you to America. Was it always space or was it always different ideas? You saw something wasn't working and you came up with an idea to fix that thing.
Well, first of all, I was born in Mexico City. I live in a city close to Lansing, Hidalgo, which is very close to Mexico City. But they had 2 huge satellite dishes that they use to broadcast the Olympic Games. So I was telling to my people over there, like, hey, we always look to the sky because we have those huge dishes looking to the space. Then my father, he passed away when I was 10, but when he was alive, but he always loved technology. It was early 1981, in 1982, we already had computers, touchscreen. It was green and black, pretty ugly. My dad already had a watch that was a radio. He has all kinds of gadgets. So in my mind as a kid, I was watching TV shows and I was like, in my mind, I didn't realize that there was like a huge gap between living in Mexico and watching those TV shows. And because I experienced those gadgets with my dad, I was like, yeah, that's possible. I'm going to make it. Then I had my first video console and my first computer, and we used some cartridges. I literally opened every single one to figure out what was inside. And I was very good opening stuff. I opened my computer, put it back.
Oh, wow.
And that really helped me. Let me tell you a story. I'm very good understanding technology and reverse engineering stuff. One of our contacts with the Air Force, they invited a couple of companies. It was my first time trying to get a contract. And at the end, it was like 5 companies, and they showed us an electronic warfare device, like a magic box. And it was classified, and they just told us, like, you need to create the next generation. And I was like, I'm lost. I don't have the knowledge of the other big companies. I need to find a competitive advantage. So I told them, hey, can I open it and break it to understand it? Every single attendee from the other companies looked at me like, are you crazy? For some reason, I really convinced them. They are very open. They allow me to open it. I understood how it worked because I told them, like, how can I offer you the next generation if I don't understand how it works? Otherwise, we're going to offer you a different version of what you have. So they allow me, and that helped me to understand it. And we won that contract because we could really propose something new, something unique, a differentiator. So just making that connection with that child, I was telling my mother, like, I was always breaking stuff and putting the stuff together, but that really helped me to understand how things work. So, and that really gave me a unique skill, like, I will make it work. 2, I'm very good putting teams together. I will always try to have people smarter than me so I can learn from them. And that's very smart. And 3, I love challenges. Stuff like no one did before, and just make it happen and make it happen very quick.
Well, clearly you love challenges based off of the career path you took. Tell me, give me an example of one of the things you took apart at your mom's house.
Oh, I took everything. I took from computers, video game consoles, and every single device that my mom had at home, including a TV. Betamax VCR recorder, put it back together. And at some point they were like mad, like, hey, you are going to break it. And I was like, no, I'm going to fix it. But that really gave me a unique set of skills. And I want to share you another experience, if I can.
Of course.
When we performed our first holographic teleportation, it was October 2021. And October always has a lot of meaning for me. Is when my dad passed away, but something good always happened to me in October. December, before Christmas, NASA called me. I was like, oh, they're going to give me an award. I was like, yeah, what can I do for you? And they say, hey, there's a new company. They're going to send a first private mission to space station. And I was like taking notes, and they want to do to use your technology in a two-way. Back in the day, it was like an NASA surgeon could holoport from mission control to the space station as a hologram. But it was one way. And they say, no, now these guys want to do it two-way. I was just taking notes and like, okay, they want to do something meaningful, and they want to do it for April. Most of the projects with the government take like years, 4 or 5 years. And I was like, it was December 2021. I was like, oh, do you want this April 2025, 2026? And they said, no, they want it for April 2022. This guy is a billionaire. He wants to make this happen. I was just taking notes, and I was like, let me see if I get it right. So you are telling me that you want me to create a new technology. Here I can test it because he's on the ground. Be sure that it's working, fly it to the station without proof it, make it work. And this guy want to make it in April. And he said, yeah, we want to do that. And I was like, well, I just want to be sure that you mention, and you say billionaire and not millionaire with a B. And he said, no, he's a billionaire with a B. And I was like, okay, so money is not an issue. We launched some components to the space station. We tried to put all that technology together. And at some point, we had a couple of hiccups. NASA is one of the most proactive and positive organizations. We tried to figure out an issue. We couldn't communicate two-way. And we spent a full day, a bunch of people online, just trying to throw solutions. It was a Friday. That didn't work. I said, you know what, Fernando, we need to say on Monday that we will not be able to do it, but good job. And I was like, no, hold on. Give me until Monday. Let me see if we can figure it out. So with my team, we replicate the computers and the environment of the space station in my office. We figure out how to fix it. And we arrive on Monday and say, hey, we figured out what was wrong. We fix it. Literally, they told me like, hey, that was a Hail Mary. We didn't expect that. So months later, April 2022, we were able to perform these two-way holographic teleportations to the space station. So that's the kind of challenges that I love, because you don't have like a reference. You are trying to do something that no one did it before. And you are pushing that technology and your people and my own limits. I'm pushing out of my comfort zone. So it's pretty amazing.
What else is driving those challenges? Because I know that you started the company in 2012. How did you go from starting the company to being a trusted partner and contractor with NASA, so much so that they appreciate your work and you're moving so quickly with them that they're giving you awards? What does that look like? What quality and value do you and your company have that would somehow quickly align you to one of the most powerful companies?
Answering your first question, what motivates me is legacy. Is just my last name is my brand. So it's how I want my company and my last name to people remember me for that. But it's very easy. One, people love something new, something that will give you a lot of advantages, that will solve a problem that they have, or they don't know that they have, or they may have it. Two is quality. You need to make it with quality, and you need to make it better than anyone. Three, because I'm a small company compared with the big ones. Small company for now. I can move faster. and I don't have any red tape. The way that we work, and I learned that from a book called Team of Teams, is like everyone in my team, they can take executive decisions. So we try to move very fast, no red tape. And something that I learned is when we have a problem, it's like, it is not my fault, but it is my problem now. So now let's figure out how to solve it. And we have like failure is not an option. So they like me because we move fast, high quality. We try to bring a lot of value to the agency in case of NASA or the Department of Defense or any of my customers. And that's why we try, instead of the traditional stuff that what's going to be the output, to bring something unique that they didn't have. NASA loves innovation. The Air Force loves innovation. And a lot of organizations, they really love innovation. And you have innovation, quality, and great customer service, game over.
It sounds like some incredible leadership is coming from your company as well. I know you have 2 degrees here at University of Phoenix. Has the University of Phoenix and your degrees and your journey with us, has it helped you become a stronger leader?
A lot. First of all, I have my master's and my doctorate at University of Phoenix. When I took my doctorate, that really changed my mind. You're going to be a doctor in a couple of years, and you will know how that transformed your mind. And also now in these projects, I can be principal investigator because I have my degree. Now I can be PI. What's the meaning of that? I can say, hey, we can move this technology. We can make these changes to this proposal and literally give me more freedom to move and learn from projects. So that's a unique capability. That's a huge differentiator because now I have a different mindset, but also being a PI, a principal investigator, give me a lot of freedom. And after you complete your doctorate, your mind is going to work in a different way. You analyze, you understand things in a different way, and that's huge.
When you received your doctorate here at the University of Phoenix, how did you see that education changing your perspective?
It really changed my mindset, but that didn't end there. I made multiple publications. So the doctorate is the beginning of your journey. It really helps you to have your degree and change your mindset. However, the University of Phoenix, they had another kind of workshops. One that was very useful is about how to make your first publication. My dissertation was about how to use holographic teleportation to reduce the stress in astronauts on the space station. But then, as I moved forward, I decided to complete more research and then publish those as white papers. So that was the beginning of the journey. And I learned and I made my first publication thanks to the University of Phoenix workshop. So after I got my diploma, that's not the end of the journey. It's just the beginning.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I want to dive deep, not only into the business that you opened in 2012, but you said that there's a new one. Tell me more about this.
So when we had this huge success with this holographic teleportation, my company works with the government and government contractors. I say, like, this is powerful. I decided to create a second company called AXA and we decided to commercialize this technology and make it available for anyone. Not everyone has these fancy glasses for $1,000, but everyone has this, like a cell phone. So what I did is like make this technology available for anyone. Right now, it's pretty universal. You can use a cell phone, a tablet, glasses, anything to create and project a hologram. We have physicians helping and training people in Africa about medical procedures. So this technology is really helping a lot of people. And then I learned how to raise money, which is pretty interesting. That's the best part. During the round B of investment, one of our new business partners, he's very powerful with AI. And he was like, hey, if you combine your technology with AI, that's going to be a game over. So it's what we did. We blended AI with holographic teleportation, and it's really changing a lot of fields that I wasn't aware. So right now, just to give you an example, next week I'm installing this at a hospital. So it's going to be like a teledoctor, but essentially the doctor can see you, the hologram can see you, say, hey, I have a bruise here, or my eyes are red, and it can give you real feedback, like you are talking with a real person. We're installing this at a hotel brand. It's going to be for concierge. So we're installing this in the Emirates, United, I believe in Dubai. So when people arrive, it's going to help them about what to do, what not to do. So this is growing exponentially, and it's helping to communicate. We develop our own brand of holographic projectors. So if you don't like glasses, you can interact with those holographic projectors.
When will we see these in market?
That was an interesting question. So what happened is, as we move forward, every time someone sees an application, and we were defined more for the market. So my idea was like, hey, this is perfect for oil and gas, and we're doing that for training. And some physicians say, hey, I like that. Okay, I will make it for you. And say, yeah, but I don't want tiny screens. I want to see the person like real size. So we develop a real size holographic, two-way holographic projection system. So the physician can see the person in a three-dimensional way. It's a 6 feet tall device. You can see it. It's transparent, like the person is there, and it's two-way. Each of them can see as holograms. And every day we have someone new telling us, hey, can we use it in this industry? Can we use it here? Can we use it there? So what we decided is like, hey, let's just make this open, and if people want to use it that way that they want to, it's going to be that way. So right now, my technology, you can download it. There is a free version, there is a paid version. For it's working like an app. And if you want to buy the machines, you can buy it. So I'm making this available. So instead of me trying to evangelize the market, I'm allowing the market to tell me what they want me to modify. We are close to also create our own social media platform. They can literally see three-dimensional reels and interact in a different way. So we are moving very fast, and it's what is keeping us leading this market.
I'm so excited about your new social media. What made you want to immediately share this? Because your idea is going to change the world. You could have kept this private. You could have controlled the technology and the AI and how it moves forward. But you have it available for people to use on their cell phones. They can download it. They can get the larger device for the human size hologram. What made you want to share so freely?
As I told you, people will not remember me about how much money that I have in my bank account. People will remember about what we gave back to the society, what we gave back as humans, and that's part of the legacy. So that's my answer. Legacy.
Legacy. My goodness. Before we go, I want to make sure that I give you the floor. Is there anything that you want to make sure that our viewers and listeners walk away with today?
Yeah, I believe that everyone at the university trying to get a degree is because they have dreams. Protect your dreams, keep your dreams alive, and you will make it happen. It's hard, but a lot of people achieve their dreams, and they realize that they only need to keep pushing and pushing forward and never give up. And they will say, hey, I only slept like 2-3 hours, and I really push it. But after they got their degree, they can pursue their dreams for a better life. Just keep pushing, keep dreaming, and rise.
Incredible. Dr. Fernando, thank you so much for joining us. This has been an incredible interview, and I'm excited to watch your YouTube channel grow. I'm excited to see your social medias, the holograms. Oh my goodness. I know that there'll be a follow-up just because it seems like there's literally nothing you can't do, and you're not stopping. So we're looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you so, so much for joining us. Listen, you heard it here first from Dr. Fernando. Hold on to your dream, protect your dream, and push. Everyone has the same 24 hours.
Thank you so much.
Somehow this is the end of this episode of Degrees of Success. I'm your host, Freda Richards, reminding you that your next chapter might just be your best one yet. See you soon.